Thank you, comrades. Thank you for this great honor and trust. I will not let you or this great organization down. I must first thank the Department of Florida, District 6, and my post 7909 in Jacksonville for your faith in me and your support. I also extend my sincere appreciation to past Commanders-in-Chiefs, Jack Carney, Jim Nyer, and Larry Rivers for their friendship, their belief in me, their support, and them willing to take the time to teach me and bring me along. So thank you so much. I want to especially recognize past Department of Florida Adjutant Quartermasters Bill Kursoff and Benny Bashan. No one has ever had more loyal and dedicated friends than those two men. To my National Council member from Florida, Gene Hall, thank you for your faithful service to our great organization and your friendship over the last 30 years. To past Commanders-in-Chief Richard Eubank and Richard Denoyu, thank you for your guidance and leadership. It was an honor to be part of the all-Marine team. Hoorah! That may never happen again. As you know, there was 3 chairs were Marines, Gunner, of course, is a Marine, and Bob Wallace. So all 5 of us served in there. Between us, we had a high school education. That's not in the script, but you know how I am. I want to congratulate new Senior Vice Commander-in-Chief Bill Thine of Indiana and welcome aboard John Stroud, Junior Vice Commander-in-Chief of Nevada. Gentlemen, let's roll our sleeves up and get ready. We're going to hit the ground running. I also want to congratulate newly elected VFW National President, Ladies Auxiliary Leanne Nemley from Iowa. I look forward to working with you and making both of our organizations better and stronger. And to my 2 sons, John Jr., who's in California and couldn't be here with us, and my son Eric, who is here, for giving my life meaning and purpose. And I'm very happy that Eric and Kristen, his girlfriend, are here with me today. Thank you, son. Thank you, Kristen. Comrades, I belong to many military and veterans organizations, and just like you, I chose the Veterans of Foreign Wars to donate my time and energy. What I am most proud of is our tremendous military support programs and our outstanding veterans service legislative work. We provide daily, America's 22 million veterans and our 2.3 million service members and all of their families. I'm extremely proud of our patriotic programs and strong national defense and homeland security positions. And I'm especially proud of the VFW National Home for Children, which for 90 years has given unwavering support to provide to military families and their veterans. Truly the crown jewel of the Veterans of Foreign Wars. What a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful home. And I urge each of you to support it. Comrades, this is what I brag about when I talk to potential members and civilians. I tell them about our founding fathers coming home from wars to a nation that bore no responsibility to care for their wounded, injured, and those with illnesses. I tell them if it was not for the VFW and the key role that we play getting the VA as well as other significant military and veteran quality of life programs passed into law in the 20th and 20th centuries, were not for the VFW, many of those things would never have happened. And I can tell you about the feeling of kinship that every member shares. That's because our organization gets it. We can talk the talk because we walk the walk on oceans and lands most people can't even find on a map. Regardless of when and where you served or which uniform you wore, all of us have served in harm's way. That is a unique experience that surprisingly few can share, which is why the VFW is one of the toughest organizations to join, and it should be. A similar experience is also shared by our men's and ladies' auxiliaries, but it's an experience filled with pride as well as worry for deployed loved ones. I speak to you my family's history. My grandfather was a Marine. My father was a Marine. And all 9 of his brothers served in the military. That's right, 9 brothers, 10 of them. That bond, comrades and sisters, is what makes the VFW so unique and so relevant in today's new generation of warriors. And that's where our focus has to be. What we have accomplished over the past 113 years on Capitol Hill and in cities and towns everywhere is legendary. But our future existence is 100% dependent upon what we do tomorrow. Let me repeat that, because it's a message I need you to take back to your homes and posts. What the VFW does tomorrow is far more important than what we did yesterday. To attract and retain eligible membership, we have to focus on what it takes for the VFW to be strong, relevant, and recognized as a leader in all things military and veteran. 22-year-old Afghanistan veteran Chris Gray from VFW Post 1031 in Springfield, Ohio, said it best last month when he told a local newspaper that the VFW has people he can talk to because we have something big in common. Because we have something big in common. Comrades, that shared experience bridges all generations. That's why we must be there, not just the handshake, the pat on the back, but to help them find jobs, to use our readjustment experiences to help them overcome whatever emotional scars they return home with, and to help steer them to a service officer and into the VA system. That is our sacred duty, comrades. It's a lifetime commitment to pay forward, because we were all young once when we went off to war. But now, much wiser and older, we have returned. We must pass that knowledge on. Membership is our life's blood of this great organization, and we need a massive transfusion. We are rapidly losing World War II generation to age, even though not all of 16 million who served are eligible. America's greatest generation now numbers less than 1.7 million. Eligible Korean War vets, too, once numbered almost 1.8 million, but their ranks have thinned by 60%. Our greatest membership target audience is still the Vietnam generation and the wars and conflicts that followed. Consider these numbers. There are almost 2.8 million Vietnam veterans who are eligible for VFW membership. That's 2.8 million Vietnam veterans. There are more than 600,000 Desert Storm and Desert Shield veterans who are now eligible for membership. There are 2 million Iraq and Afghanistan veterans who are eligible for membership. And there are tens of thousands of others, from Beirut to Grenada, Panama, Somalia, Haiti, Korea, the Balkans, elsewhere, who are eligible for membership. So with all these members eligible, why again did our total membership decline for the 20th consecutive year? A national survey last year revealed that half of all new veterans don't belong to any veterans organization because no one simply has asked them to join. So why again? So why did only 20 VFW departments reach 100%? Comrades, we recruit and reinstate more than enough eligible veterans to take care of our lost in illness and death. Our challenge is to keep annual members from walking out the back door due to disinterest, disagreements, or no follow-up contact. This is a local issue that the national organization simply cannot fix. What also is distressing is the number of women we have. They account for 15% of the total force, but only 1% of the VFW is made up of women. 1%. That tells me something. Either they aren't being asked to join, or they don't feel welcome when they do. Again, this is a local issue that nationals simply cannot fix. What I do know is that all of us must do more to recruit all eligible service members and veterans into the VFW, to earn them to run for leadership positions at the post, district, department, and national level. Comrades, in the not-too-distant future, the last Vietnam veteran will serve as Commander-in-Chief of our great organization. I see that changing of guard as a positive opportunity for growth and something definitely worth bragging about. Far too long, the VFW has not properly and rightfully bragged about our accomplishments when we should have. That ends today. Today we begin taking credit for what is due this organization. I hope you have noticed the new branding campaign that came out of national headquarters. No one does more for veterans. No one does more for veterans. These 6 words are absolutely true, which means we must be in full campaign mode to tell the VFW story publicly, not only to potential members, but to everyone who will listen, and most especially to elected leaders and members of the press. The reason our voice needs to be heard is because all wars end Iraq last year and Afghanistan by 2014. That means veterans' issues could once again be on a backseat to whatever the national priority becomes the flavor of the day. We must first, and we remember this first, we're going to downsize the military just as we did in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam, and Desert Storm. It is guaranteed to happen, and again, especially in these tough budgetary times. Everything the VFW wants to do costs money, but everything the VFW wants is for someone else. That's why I'm so damn proud. Instead, I wasn't going to cuss, sorry. Just can't help myself sometimes, guys. That's why I'm so damn proud of the VFW and the Washington office for carrying the fight to Congress and the White House to protect veterans' benefits and military retirement programs and health care. I'm equally proud of all departments and their legislative committees for taking the fight directly to state capitals and to City Hall. But our fight is far from over to protect the people's programs we fought for so hard to create and protect and to enhance. Most military folks think Congress and the Department of Defense are responsible for increasing their pay and health care benefits, or created the new GI Bill, or trauma injury insurance. You tell them politely the VFW led that charge. If it were not for the VFW, it never would have happened. Likewise, the great work by our nationwide force of service officers who have helped hundreds of thousands of veterans to recoup billions in earned compensation and pension for their wounds and injuries and illness. You may need a service officer. You may not need a service officer of the VA, but millions of other veterans do. And knowing that our service work is second to none is worth supporting and bragging about. This is especially important if you reside in one of the 16 military installations and regions around the country where we have BDD service officers assigned to help transitioning military. Our advocacy on Capitol Hill and troop support and service work in 7,300 cities and towns across America are core VFW programs. And as much as we'd like to support all community requests we receive every year, we know that the economy just does not allow that. I ask you that you add the VFW's core programs to the top list of donations to your priority list. Make the VFW core programs your priority. As I said the other day, a lady came to me in Florida and said, I'm going to make Northeast Florida Hospice my project. What do you think? I said, they're a great group. But why don't you make the VA Lake City Hospice your project? Well, there's veterans in Northeast Florida Hospice. I said, of course there are. But guess what? If you go to Lake City VA Hospital, they're all veterans. They're all veterans. We have got to start taking care of ourselves first. A donation to unmet needs or the foundation or the Washington office directly supports veterans, service members, and their families. And let there be no doubt that having core programs supporting core audiences is why we were founded. We were founded to be a service organization, to do service work for veterans and their families. That's why we're here. Our forefathers knew that everyone who serves in harm's way is in one big foxhole, which means they inherit a veteran's responsibility, a survivor's responsibility, to pay it forward for the next generation. You've heard me talk many times about no survivor's guilt, but you better damn well have survivor's responsibility. The reason Gene Hall or Joe Roderick or Jim Jones or whoever, the reason you're here and I'm here is Cliff Olson. It's just the way it happened. Whatever the plan was, the good Lord for some reason allowed me to survive and you to survive. But guess what? Because of that, you have a responsibility to take care of veterans, their families, in this country. That, comrades, is why our 6-word slogan, "No one does more for veterans," is so important. Just don't forget, What you do tomorrow is far more important than what we did yesterday. Please help us spread the word about what we can do, what we continue to do for America's military, her veterans, and their families. Then ask them to join. Ask them to join America's greatest veterans organization. Embracing this new generation is so important that I'm appointing past Commander-in-Chief Jim Nair to fill a newly created position, to target the younger veterans, to target the entire Student Veterans of America organization. There'll be more details later, but Jim Nair is going to head that program up to contact the kids at the college campuses, to meet with their leaders, to meet with those organizations, to let them know the VFW is concerned and cares about what happens to them as veterans. Now, certainly most of those young people are Iraq and Afghanistan veterans, but there's still a few old fossils like me floating around, but we're going to take our membership program to them, not wait for them to come to us. We got to hear from President Obama and Governor Romney this week because both candidates and their campaigns know that no one does more for veterans than the VFW. This is the respect we command in Washington, but it's also an obligation we cannot abuse or take lightly. I'm very grateful that they took the time to talk to us about primary concerns, which are the proper care and treatment of veterans, service members and their families, a strong national defense, and homeland security programs. I hope that you're equally appreciative because for 2 straight days, the entire country was listening to the next President of the United States talking about military and veterans issues at the 113th Convention of the Veterans of Foreign Wars of the United States. And that is something to be damn proud of. They both came here because they know we're a force, because we speak for veterans. Before I conclude, and I'm going to try to get through this, it's a toughie, but I want you to hear this. Before I conclude, I need to talk about my trip back to Vietnam this past May. It was the first time I had been back since 1970 when I flunked duck school. Y'all know what that means, okay? The VFW has been sending its leadership to Southeast Asia every year since 1991, to Russia since 2004, and now the People's Republic of China. All in an effort to help other governments better understand and account for 83,000 missing GIs going back to World War II. And I talked about that yesterday. You know, people say we shouldn't go overseas, we shouldn't spend that money. Well, let me tell you what, if your father, your brother, your son, or a fellow comrade was missing, the money wouldn't be significant. And I've said to people all the time, if it takes 20 years or 40 years, $1 or $40 million, if we bring one hero home, it's worth every hour, every penny, every effort. To get back to that, the reason is we can open doors because no one else, because we're not politicians and bureaucrats, we're all veterans. And the VFW is respected around the world for our staunch advocacy for this one humanitarian mission that returns fallen heroes to their families. I'm proud to say that no other organization does more for the full accounting mission than the VFW. And no organization is more supportive of the 600 military and civilian men and women assigned to the Joint POW MIA Accounting Command and the Defense POW MIA Accounting Command. Anyway, long story short, at an MIA recovery site outside of Da Nang, I met with a retired Vietnamese Army colonel who just happened to be a North Vietnamese lieutenant in the same location in battles where I was. We were actually in a region and actually exchanged fire and discussed it, and some of it in details. This guy was a lieutenant. I was a sergeant. I was in the Marine Corps. He said to me, you know, you decimated my company and my platoon. And he knew who Echo 211 was. You decimated my platoon. I didn't say good. Felt like it at first. But we had some surprises for him. But anyway, short story long, I'll tell you what happened. I just quick, don't tell war stories, but his company jumped our little Marine squad, and we kicked their behinds. But we had something he didn't have. We had artillery and close air support. Thank God for that air cover and that artillery. We didn't speak the same language, let me get back to this, nor do we today. But in a way, we both did because we served our respected nations in uniform during a time of war. My war ended in 1970 after being wounded for the third time. But this chance encounter brought back old memories of my friend and fellow Marine Lance Corporal Andy Rankin. Andy was from St. Peters, Missouri, and was only 19 years old when his war ended. When his war ended on April 29, 1969, in Quang Nam Province. He now lives forever in my heart. And he lives on panel 26 West, line 79, on the wall in Washington. Excuse me. Said I wasn't going to do this. As I've said earlier, we have survivors' responsibility to pay it forward for every Andy Rankin and their families from every generation. This is a lifetime commitment that I pledge to do for this great organization. And in return, I ask for your trust, your guidance, and your support to ensure that all America knows no one does more for veterans. And I've said before, I'm pretty blunt sometimes, a little direct. Maybe I'm a little rough around the edges. If I stumble, if I fall, don't kick me in the tuchus. Help me back up. I'm one of you. I'm one of you. And I've said before, and I'll say it again, the highest rank in this organization is comrade. It's not commander-in-chief. That's a job. It's a title. It's not post commander. It's not district commander. It's not state commander. Those are all titles. The highest rank, because you paid the price to be here, the highest rank always will be and should be is comrade. Period. So let me say to you in closing, I pledge to you my unwavering support until my last breath. I promise you this. We'll fight the good fight. We'll take it to Congress. We'll take it to the state houses. We'll take it to the city halls, wherever we have to go, whatever we have to do. This battle we're in with the budget, this battle on membership, the glass, as I said, is not half empty. Hell, it's half full. We can win it if we work together. And I can tell you this, my heart of hearts, man, what 113 years of proud tradition, 113 years of working for veterans in this country. If you tell the VFW story, if you tell the VFW story, if you tell the VFW story, damn it, they'll join. But you got to take it to them. You got to take it to them. And when they join the organization, give them something to do. Make them feel appreciated. Make them feel appreciated. This is not what I was going to talk about, but I want to tell you this. I used to sit around and listen to some guys talk about the young Vietnam veteran. He didn't want to join. He wasn't very active. Well, guess what? The young veterans today have joined percentage-wise in bigger numbers than World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. So get off this crap. They don't want to join. They're just like you and I were. Had a World War II guy tell me one time, I know I got to shut up and go. Had a World War II guy say to me, well, by God, the problem is you young guys don't want to get active. And I listened to him talk a little longer, and I said, what year did you join? He said, I joined in 1954. I said, well, hell, you're eligible in 44. What'd you do for 10 years? Well, I was trying to get a job, feed my family. Well, guess what? We're no different. The Afghan and Iraq veterans are no different. So when they come, welcome them. I tell you one more quick story, and always sticks in my craw. I was in Lake City VA Hospital one time, and this guy walked in. We hadn't seen him in about a year and a half. He's a truck driver. But he came to the hospital visit because he was making a delivery down the road. And the first thing, I won't mention his name, got up and said, well, Frank, where in the hell have you been? We've been doing all the hospital work for a year and a half. Where have you been? He got back in his truck, left. The right answer is, Frank, we're glad you're here. Frank, we're glad you're here. That's what you do, man. And if the guy joins the post in January, he signs up in January, now it's March or April, and you haven't seen the guy, pick the phone up and call him. Say, come down to your post home, come get active, come join, come meet us. Not everybody's going to get active, but make the effort. Man, I'm telling you, make the effort, they'll join, they'll come, and they'll get active, whatever that percentage is. But if you just mail them, if you just mail them something in the mail or drop them a note, or, they get their card and you don't follow up, they're not going to be, 99% are not coming. So let's do this together, man. Make a new commitment today to make this the largest veterans organization in America. I believe we can do. I know we can do it. So let me say in closing, each of you, thanks for what you do. God bless you. God bless the VFW, and God bless America. Thank you.